Brothers and sisters, I'm Jesse with Living Tree Community Foods, and we're here at in one of the wonders of Berkeley, and that's the edible schoolyard of Martin Luther King High School in central Berkeley. And this is just about an acre or two of land, and it's just replete with fruit trees, with vegetables. The students work here during on their afternoons, and they actually grow the salad greens that they partake of in school lunches. So this is a very, very special place indeed. Edible schoolyards are a rare occurrence on the surface of this American earth, if only they would be more plentiful. Such a wonderful, magnificent idea. I could not have imagined when I was going to school to step out into the schoolyard there, which was paved with concrete, with cement sides, and then a 20-foot high fence with barbed wire on the top. This was our schoolyard at Public School 217 in Brooklyn, where I went to school. And what a contrast with this magnificent artifice here. So it shows you what we Americans can do if we only so will it to happen. A wonderment. During classes, imagine going classes, just stepping out in the schoolyard and growing your own food. And talking about growing your own food, that's why we're here today. We're going to be planting a winter garden. Never wait until winter to plant your winter garden. It's too late then. You plant your winter garden now. Fall is the new spring. You get your vegetables started. You get your basically salad greens, your lettuce, parsley, kale, and chard. You get them all growing now, so you'll have bountiful crops throughout the fall and winter if you're frost-free in wintertime. But certainly throughout the fall, as I said, fall is the new spring. Growing your own food has become a survival skill. During the Second World War, there were victory gardens everywhere, and they made a genuine difference. We've got to get back to that. We've got to get back to the joy and wonderment and ebullience of growing at least a part of the food that you eat. This is so very, very important indeed. And for those of you who are concerned about climate change, and let's agree at least that the climate is becoming more erratic, that storms are becoming more frequent and more violent. Well, you could do at least what you can do within your compass is to bring back to life a small plot of land, however small, in your backyard, in your front yard or whatever, or in your community garden. And if you don't have a community garden, why not go ahead and create a community garden? You'll find that most municipalities here in America would be very, very open and receptive to the idea. I founded a community garden in San Diego, California. And the City Parks Department, it was a space where the City Parks Department parked their 10-ton vehicles. So the ground, you will admit, was rather impacted. But we brought it back to life. And as far as I know, it's still going to this very, very day, a joy to the people in the surrounding area. So why not go ahead and plant a garden for fall, plant a garden for winter. It's what we've got to do. We've got to bring back, no matter how small, a fraction of this American earth. If you're into climate change, if you're concerned about the erratic climate, as I've said, bring back the earth, fertilize the earth, make the earth start growing food and plants and flowers, if you will, and through the miracle of nitrogen fixation from the air into the soil, you'll be making a real and genuine difference. So let's get started. And the first thing you want to do is to plant lettuce. And we're going to start with a wonderful lettuce, a romaine, grows upright and tall, winter density. So we're going to start with winter density lettuce, and we'll just put these right there. And that's my planting of winter density lettuce. And then we'll plant a European lettuce, Reine des Glaces, winter lettuce, French lettuce. Here we go. And you'll notice one thing. I'm not going to cover the lettuce seeds. Just leave them on the surface. The smaller the seed, and these seeds are really tiny, the smaller the seed, the less cover you provide. So there, I'm going to leave them there right on the surface. Then I'm going to plant another wonderful lettuce called salad bowl. Another lettuce called Marin. Marin is the great county across the bay here, the great county where we used to have our tree farm, our tree nursery. Very, very beautiful and majestic place. So here's a lettuce called Marin. And then I'm going to plant another lettuce called Rainier. As you've guessed, it's from Washington State, named after the great mountain there. So a Rainier lettuce, also a hardy, strong romaine, Rainier. And then a lettuce that goes way, way back. That was Thomas Jefferson's favorite, called Winter Brown. He was ecstatic about it. So why not plant it? Why not give it a try? It's new to me. So Winter Brown. Now we're going to do some other vegetables, and you've guessed it, the most nutritious, most vibrant vegetable you can grow. What is that? Kale, of course. So we're going to start with a winter boar kale. Okay. And then we're going to do an alive bat's kale. And finally, a Siberian kale, very tough, strong, and hardy, as you've probably guessed. Siberian kale, another standby. And then we're going to do some beets. This is a golden beet. And one thing about golden beets is that they make magnificent salad greens. Just magnificent. Imagine tossing a salad with golden beet leaf green in it. And as I said, all of these vegetables are going to be producing all winter long here in California. So golden beet. And I'm going to take some of the soil and cover the kale. And cover the beets. Other things we could have planted would be parsley. It takes three weeks to germinate, but it always comes through. So we would be planting some parsley. And another winter standby, you've guessed it, spinach. There are so many magnificent varieties of spinach, with Bloomsdale being a universal standby. Bloomsdale spinach, you'll find it in any and every seed catalog. A magnificent spinach going way back. So that basically, here we have right here, we have our winter garden. And when I get home, I'm going to water this tray. Within a week or so, the plants will. I'm going to put it in a cool, dark place, and when the seeds start to germinate, I will put it in direct sun to harden them off, to prevent them from getting leggy. Put them in direct sun, and after they're about an inch or two high, I will transplant these veggies to other flats, and from this I can make at least 6 or 8 flats. And when those transplants become strong, I will transplant the transplants when they're 2 or 3 inches high into my garden. It's as simple as that. So here it is, brothers and sisters. If you're concerned about the food that you eat, grow it yourself. We say here at Living Tree Community Foods, gardening and growing your own food is a survival skill. It has become a necessity more and more and more. And if you're not sure of that, look at what's happening with the stock market. One sugar high after another. You have the largest bubble ever that's about to implode. So, brothers and sisters, get going, get gardening. Fall is the new spring, and you're going to see us through. You're going to see us through sustainability. From sustainability to regeneration to redemption. It's all in your hands. As Abraham Lincoln said of you, what better or equal hope is there in this world? Thank you indeed. Let's go forward, and bye for now.